Hello, my name is Adrian Tomala. I'm here at the Arlington Career Center talking to Nortel's Chief Technology Officer, John Roese. Thank you for talking to me today, sir. What is your title and role at Nortel?
My title is Chief Technology Officer. I am responsible for two things. One, the long-term strategic technology direction for the company, and secondly, let's call it the care and feeding of about 12,000 R&D professionals.
Okay. Who was your favorite teacher and why?
So let's see, probably my favorite high school teacher was a teacher named Jean Bellevue, who actually was a history teacher of all things. You know, I'm an engineer, but you know, the reason I'd identify him is he was one of those unique individuals who had the ability to connect what you were talking about to something relevant, and you know, it's a very powerful concept.
Yeah, I like history too, sir. What was your favorite subject in high school?
So that's a tough one. You know, history is clearly you know, always been a fun one because you know, if you understand what went on before you can usually determine the let's call it the mistakes of the past and not repeat them. On another side, however, you know, anything related to computer science, programming, etc., was you know, obviously had a bias towards, given the industry I exist in. And, you know, I had everything from Commodore 64s to TRS-80s to all those legacy gear that you know, most people have forgotten about now. But a bit of a geek when I was a kid.
Yeah.
So.
What career advice would you give students that are interested in working in informational technology?
Probably the biggest thing is understand, you know, the reason why you are learning what you're using. The bottom line is, you know, far too often we just think about education as academic, that you're just learning how to memorize something or, you know, learn a programming language. But you should always ask, you know, what am I going to do with this? What problem is it going to solve? You know, the example I give is every piece of technology that I've ever created or dealt with, I actually show to my mother, who is a librarian, and if she gets it, then the technology is probably a good design, because if someone who is highly non-technical can understand a technology and a solution, then usually that technology is going to make sense for the masses.
Yeah. What will be the most important technology in the next 2 years?
So probably two things. The first is going to be broadband fourth generation wireless technologies. You know, today we all have cell phones and we have wireless LANs, but we have gaps. We have many places where the wireless network isn't fast enough to really surf the internet or download video or play music over the network. And clearly we have a huge opportunity to build out technologies that can actually have that pervasive, anytime, anywhere kind of experience. Some people call that fourth generation wireless. And then the second is, you know, when we think about the applications out there, today's applications really are, we have to adapt to the application. You go and you buy a program, and then quite frankly, you know, you use the program how some programmer intended you to use it. The future, however, around things like web services and service-oriented architectures is much more about building a set of capabilities that can create a very customized and flexible set of services that are very aligned to what you as an individual want to do, because every one of us is different. Therefore, our communication experience ought to be extremely aligned to what we actually want to accomplish, how we communicate, how we deal with other individuals, and quite frankly, what we want to do.
Yeah. If you were talking with employees at Nortel, what would you tell them about Nortel LearnIt?
So LearnIt is kind of a novel approach that Nortel's taken in terms of trying to participate in the education ecosystem. You know, the bottom line is that instead of trying to be the entire ecosystem, we realized that, you know, fundamentally the enablers were not present. It was not easy to create online curriculum. It was not easy to create communities of collaboration. And so the Nortel LearnIt program absolutely is, you know, this kind of foundational capability that allows education to simply be better and to be enabled in a way that couldn't be done before, which means that it's applicable to almost any environment. And so, you know, to the Nortel employee community, it's the question of, you know, think about where this technology and this type of capability and this type of program can be be applied in a very creative way, as opposed to thinking of it as a product that only solves one problem. It's a foundational capability to enable a better academic and educational experience that is very different than the way the industry has previously thought about let's call it public-private partnership in education.
So thank you for this interview. I appreciate that.
Thanks very much.
Yeah.